Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. Before I jump into this great example we have of a politician finally standing up, I want to say thank you to everyone who's bought a shirt. You've heard me say this a few times, but tomorrow is the last day. There is one day left to purchase your limited edition Guns and Gadgets t-shirt, myself included. I did buy several of them. It's your last chance. So if you do want a shirt from the channel, you can support the channel and the Second Amendment at the same time and look pretty damn cool doing it. Your last chance is this 24-hour period we are in right now. Link is in the description. It's booster.com/gunsandgadgets. Doesn't get any easier than that. And you can check them out right there. 4 colors, multiple sizes. So buy one for you, your mom, your dad, your kids, your sister, your neighbors. Buy them for Christmas this year, but they are available for a limited time, and that stops tomorrow. So right around Thanksgiving, I did a video entitled, I think it was The Case That Will Challenge the NFA or something like that. But a link will be right here, floating around. I'll have a link in the description as well. And I suggest, for background reasons, that you watch that video. So pause this, watch that, come right back, because this fallout is going to make you smile. So in that video, there was a gentleman, Shane Cox, a resident of Kansas, who was building and selling his own suppressors in the state. They didn't leave the state. There's a law that's been challenged numerous times. It's a Kansas state law that says any firearm or firearm device or ammo made and sold within Kansas that doesn't leave Kansas, stays there, is totally exempt from any federal firearms control, regardless of what the feds might think. And it's been sued numerous times. It's been challenged in court. It's won every single time. It's been found constitutional, and the feds don't like that. And when this case kicked off, Eric Holder, who was the biggest jacamo ever to say he was any relation to anything law enforcement, was the #1 guy in the land. He was the Attorney General of Barack Obama, and we all know how transparent that agency has been, that administration was. So Eric Holder took it upon himself to say that this found to be constitutional law. We don't like it. It's Cox and Keller, I think his name was. It's Jeremy Kettler. But Cox was the one making the suppressors. And even though they had legal standings in their state, they had the state laws that specifically said what they were doing was legal. The gentleman that was making them and selling them sold them with the state law saying that they can't leave the state line. Even charged sales tax, covered his rear end, covered his 100%. Did everything legal. But Eric Holder didn't like it and found some liberal judges that didn't like guns, and these two gentlemen lost. They were found guilty, and it blows my mind that you have the state law, the Second Amendment Protection Act of Kansas from 2013 saying the Second Amendment is alive and well here, and you feds can't do shit about it. You have the Constitution of the United States, the supreme law of the land. Go back and read your history books if you don't know what I'm talking about. And you cannot make a law that supersedes the supreme law of the land. Yet every time you see me come here with bad news, it's because some jacamo in some state has made a law that supersedes the supreme law of the land. And we're getting sick of it. Makes my blood boil. I told you this was good in the very beginning, and I swear this is. Governor Sam Brownback, the governor of Kansas, has penned a letter to President Donald Trump asking for the president to formally pardon these two gentlemen who were wrongly accused and wrongly convicted of federal crimes. I'm going to read you this letter. I'm going to try to get a better copy, and I'll put it here. Bear with me, this letter is on my iPad here, and I'm going to read it word for word. It's only 3 paragraphs. And you should feel a little bit of pride and patriotism hearing this. Dear President Trump, in November 2016, 2 Kansans, Shane Cox and Jeremy Kettler, were convicted of alleged federal firearms violations in the U.S. District Court for the District of Kansas in Wichita. The charges against Cox and Kettler were in conflict with our state's Second Amendment Protection Act, upon which these citizens relied. The prosecutions were initiated by the U.S. Department of Justice during the administration of President Obama. Enough said right there, right? Former U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder previously had sought to undermine the Second Amendment rights of Kansans by attacking the Second Amendment Protection Act at the time of its enactment. The unfair prosecutions of Cox and Kettler were no doubt an attempt to further this affront to the state of Kansas and to deter Kansans from the exercise of their constitutional rights. We've seen that a lot for the previous 8 years, correct? Unfortunately, Cox and Kettler were the unwitting victims in this overreaching federal attempt to make an example of someone. Accordingly, I am hereby requesting that you issue a full and complete pardon of Cox and Kettler as to these felony convictions. They should not be subjected to further legal proceedings on these matters, as to which they recently were sentenced to probation, and they should be allowed to return to their former lives. Thank you for your consideration in this matter and for your support of the Second Amendment rights of all Americans. Sincerely, Sam Brownback, Governor of Kansas. Now, I know there's going to be some of you who are going to say, well, all they got is probation. No, wrong. Because of this federal frickin' conviction, these two gentlemen are no longer allowed to possess a firearm. So imagine this. You're walking through your state, whatever it is. Say it's Texas. Say it's Nevada. Say it's Maine. You're walking through your cities, your towns, and a federal agent decides that he doesn't like you having your gun on you, and he's going to lock you up. Now, even though your laws and your state say you can do it, they're just going to overreach and say, you know what? You're wrong. We don't like this. We're only going to give you probation, but you can never carry a gun ever again. Put yourself in that situation, because it can happen. It has happened, similar to this situation here, but this is a suppressor. I'm glad that this governor is stepping up and doing what he should do. This needs to stop. President Trump, you need to stop tweeting while you're on the John, and you need to start addressing this shit head on. We're sick of waiting. We're sick of the, oh, look, Fox News has better ratings than CNN for me. That's done, okay? You're not trying to run anymore for office. You're trying to follow through and kick the liberal agenda's ass. It's time to focus and get it done. Now, last night after I go home from work, I watched a video from the Yankee Marshal, and it's going to play into this video here, okay? He said that there are two types of people. There are those who either follow and agree with the Constitution and those who don't. And he brought in a paradox of where people say we should have freedom under the Second Amendment, but then it's okay for the states to infringe on that because it's state law. The states should have their own powers, and the federal government should only be there just doing what they do. But the Supreme Court has said numerous times that the Constitution of the United States is the supreme law of the land. That means if the frickin' Constitution says that I have the right and you have the right to keep and bear arms, and our rights shall not be infringed, then guess what? Illinois, Massachusetts, Delaware, New York, Hawaii, California, and any other frickin' liberal paradises, you are doing illegal stuff. And hopefully we can get Trump to get off frickin' Twitter, and we're going to end your parade. Hopefully. Everybody watching this is a patriot. You need to step up. It's time to have a voice. You can't keep depending on a handful of people across the country who are willing to take the torch and take the lead. We all need to be heard. Get on the phone. Call your state reps. Call your senators. Call your U.S. reps. Call your U.S. senators. Write them letters. Send them emails. You might think, oh man, I got better shit to do. March Madness is on. I want to watch college basketball. Well, what's more important? Your freedom or the score of the freaking closest upset? Come on. I know I went off on a tangent. I apologize. It's just really infuriating. We need to grab the bulls by the horns, and we need to get our freedom back. President Trump, if this for some reason ever makes it to you, because I'm sure everything I do is being watched, let's get on the frickin' ball, okay? This is Jared from Guns and Gadgets. Huge kudos to Governor Sam Brownback from Kansas. Gentlemen, you have a good governor in your corner, and I hope that President Trump can follow through and take care of this, because it's a stroke of a pen, and it should have been done the day he took office. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate your time. Reminder, grab a shirt. You have 24 hours to do it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Share this amongst your friends. And I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Till we see each other. Be safe. Stay vigilant. Carry your weapon. Take care, everyone.